Hello everyone and welcome back for another build. About time, huh? It's been a little bit. Today's build is kind of a throwback build. What you're seeing on the screen here is the case that I was working with here. Now you might recognize this if you've been around in the computing world for many years and have built many cases. You might have seen a case like this or something similar on Newegg or whatever, eBay back in the day. It's got kind of like a little plastic shell around the outside, around the whole front bezel there. Got a little side window going on there with an acrylic side. Here's kind of a close-up view of that plastic that I'm talking about. This is kind of a cookie cutter case. It's hard to say who made this. Could be Raymax, could be Palmax, could be Apivia, could be Rosewell. I mean, I can remember seeing different models from different manufacturers of this case. It was all pretty much the same generic cookie cutter. What these cases were is they were kind of a retaliation from something the modders like me and other people were doing to our cases, and at that time and 20 years ago we were doing things like, you know, taking Dremels and one of my favorite tools, a plasma torch, and plasma torches and you know, whatever, drills, and we were cutting up our cases and sticking acrylic glass in them and sticking tubes and things like cathode tubes in there, and you know, other little things to light it up, and then, you know, maybe mess with the wire colors, and then, you know, we'd maybe put some little switches up here on the front panels to, you know, just put something there for to replace the 5 1/4 inch or bay. So the case that you're looking at here on the screen is one that I got in actually a couple of years ago. Is from a guy from work, and here's another close-up of it. As you can see, this case 20 years ago, this is kind of probably one of the better lighting effects you could get on a case. Is you can see it's got, you know, a couple of blue LEDs there, green there. What these did is they changed colors. There wasn't much to them. It was kind of an earlier look at what RGB did on computers. We could take another look here at this picture, give you an idea of what else this case has. Right down here was a little button that turned on these side lights here, and then this here was a USB. This was here actually. I unscrewed those and tore this apart, and I was doing some work on this case, and I'll show you a little bit of the work I was doing to it. You can see how I pulled off that acrylic from the front there. Right up here, there's little white spots. That's where I took my Dremel to it, and I Dremeled it. I did a lot to this case, and actually, I guess enough with the pictures. Let's take you over to the case, guys. So, as you can see, on this one, I did a little camouflage theme going on there, and you can see that the lights in front have been changed to some Corsair strips. Give you a little bit of a rundown of the front before we get to the side. This is just your typical cheapy fan controller, because there's actually 4 fans right here in this area, 4 80mm fans, and they actually serve no real purpose on a case like this unless you cut them out. So I had to take my Dremel and I cut out the circular openings where these fans go in so that they can get some dang air in them. If we scoot this back, look at this. That still doesn't do any good because, well, look at that. I mean, look at that gap there. I mean, there ain't no damn air going through there. And then right here on the sides, There ain't no side air vent coming in. So it's like, you know, why would the manufacturers put those 80 millimeter ports in the front if they're just, you know, fucking useless? But anyway, so I got the fan controller here, and it's mainly for effect. It's not really to do anything. What's nice is you can go and you can turn these off in each individual channel. It changes colors. Might quiet it down a little bit, but not too much. These are all 80 millimeter fans, so you can't expect total silence. I mean, I've got some Noctuas on this one. But anyways, moving on down right here, these two things are actually storage bays. See that? For storing things. In case you haven't noticed, this is kind of a military-themed case going on here. I've got some... let me switch here to the other screen. Other themes that I'm using for it in the Corsair software. I'm still setting this up, and I've got a ways to go. And I actually might end up changing the board, and I'll get to that in a bit. But... like here's like an old school theme going on there where it's just showing the blue colors, and then you got the flashlight, because that's actually pretty bright with these little bar things on the side with the LED strips underneath, because it kind of really displaces that light. And yeah, you turn that off. Let me flip the light off real fast here. That's pretty bright. It gives off a good amount of brightness. I got that side set to bright too. But anyways, that's the lights, and then of course the burner is also camouflaged. What I used was some of this stuff. You can get it off of Amazon. It's not too bad a price. Not too hard to work with. I didn't really want to paint this case. I just wanted to do something different, so I decided to go camo. Now this here, where it says Bonham, that's actually the guy who this is going for. This is his case, and like I said, I've had it for quite a while, and he was kind of bugging me, like, you know, to eventually do something with it one of these times. And I said, you know, yeah, I can probably do something eventually. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. The main reason is because it's so old. You know, and there's not much you can do with these older ones unless you want to modify them. And I'm thinking, like, well, since this is a cookie cutter in response to the modifiers, I guess the only thing I can do to it is modify it. Modify the cookie cutter. So, yeah, anyway, so I pulled out the floppy drive and put some USB 3.0 ports in there. I need to do a little work on this case. I screwed up a little bit on the vinyl on the front part. It wasn't exactly the easiest to do. But moving on down, if we look here, we got a couple stickers. And then right here, Robert actually served in the Army for 6 years, and then from there he went to the Air Force for 6 years. So I've got a little Army and an Air Force emblem there for him, and even a little 9/11 memorial sticker that's going on there for him too. Now let's go to the side here. Let's turn this case a bit so you can take a look what we got going on. And this actually might blow your mind here a little bit. Maybe, you know, like I said, this is what I'm going to show you is kind of old school. It's what we did back in the day, but it looks pretty sharp. But first I'll show you this. So you can see, you know, like I said, the LED strips are going on there. You see this little eagle that I put on here. This is acrylic. It was originally black. I painted it. You can see the flag in the back and the eagle there, and there's one on the back fan there too, or on the Hyper 212, and there's a couple on the back fans there too. The front fans don't have them, I figured, because that's not really visible. Now there isn't much for cable management. Like I said, I'm still doing some stuff with this. I'm kind of programming it, messing around with it, and I actually might end up changing the board. The board that's in here is an X58 board. If you look, we're running an X5675 Xeon chip in here with 8 gigs of RAM. It's got one stick in there. You can see it would fit another stick, but it kind of didn't go because of that Hyper 212 being in the way. So, but that's no big deal. This is server memory. You can get that real cheap on eBay now. But originally what I wanted to run it in was a gigabyte board that had 6 slots for memory, and also had some more PCI Express slots and stuff like that, because I got, you can see the video card going down there, and I don't know if you can see it or not, right below the video card is a Wi-Fi card for Wi-Fi on the back. Gotta have Wi-Fi, right? The other board that I had in here, that I was going to put in here, I accidentally bent the damn CPU socket pin on it. Bent one of the pins. And so I got to dick around with that. And I don't have... Well, here's usually what I use is some magnifying glass. That's what these are. Right there is magnifying glasses that I use over my regular glasses. And it just really... I'm getting kind of old. My vision isn't the greatest. That's actually why I don't work on cell phones anymore. But, I'll still do laptops. But anyways, my vision's not the greatest to unbend those pins. And I can unbend them. I've done it, a couple times before for people. But it's just getting a little harder for me to do. So I had to order a set of extra hands off the Amazon there. Those little clip things, with the magnifier and the lights, and something that's got a little better zoom. And then I'm going to try unbending that pin that I fucked up. And if I can do that, I'm going to stick that Xeon into that gigabyte board, which, like I said, has got more PCI Express stuff. And if I can get that accomplished, then I'm going to put the USB 3.0 PCI Express card in here and get this working up front. It works right now, but it's actually only 2.0. What I have is a NZXT hub in there with a adapter that converts 3.0 to 2.0, and that's plugged into the hub, along with down here there's a couple USB ports that are plugged in, and of course the Corsair Lighting Pro is also ran by USB, so that's also plugged into the NZXT hub, and that's how I got all that running in there. Now you'll also see a different kind of light there, like on the RGB. You can see that it also synchronizes on the video card. What this is one of those cheapy video card fucking mounting brackets, so it doesn't lean or whatever. Well, those are kind of cheap and useless, but I took advantage of this one because I had this one and it wasn't really serving any real purpose. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on this computer just right below the video card, just to kind of give it an extra effect so it can synchronize up with that. Now, let me do something here. I'm going to turn this off. Oops, wrong button. Turn off the one there, and let me turn off, take my mouse here, the Corsair stuff here real quick. Let me call it up on the screen. Turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. And we'll go and turn off the lights real fast here. And I'm even going to turn off the monitor. Now, what you see is kind of a green. What I got is a cathode tube in here. But it's not the kind of cathode tube you would think. Let's actually do something else here. Take this light. And we're going to put it around here for a little bit to kind of do something there. Look at that. Black light. Now, like I said, let me turn off the light down here in the back. And you'll see that turn off when these... There we go. See that? So we have no lights running right now, people. What you're looking at is something we did back in the day. And that's all glow-in-the-dark paint. everything you see there. Any kind of light you see, because I have all the lights off in my office. I got the monitor off. The only light we got going is just on my plaque up there. This is an awesome looking little black light effect that I got going on in there. And that's with the black light off. And let me go ahead and turn that back on. There we go. And so yeah, you can see in there that the eagle with the flag on it lights up there, and I guess you can almost kind of see it. Now, if you've never worked with glow-in-the-dark paint before, what you'll want to do is spray a coating of white primer on the bottom. And that's actually what's in there is, I don't know if we can see that. Kinda. But if you look at the bottom of that, the top and all that, where it's, not green, it's glowing now, so I guess you can't really tell, but that's actually just the white primer. And then you spray like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 coats of glow-in-the-dark paint on it. And then you wait a few hours, let it all dry up, and it should activate and glow for you. And that's what I did with this one, because I kind of wanted to go old school with it. Because it's an old case, I thought, you know what, old case, got to do some old school mods. And so that's what I did. And then, like I said, I cut out all those with the Dremel. I did some Dremel work up on there. I haven't used a Dremel on a computer very much in quite a while. I mean, I've done a couple this or that here things to make something kind of fit better, but never any actually cutting on it. And so this case was a good old school case to do that on. And I'm still wondering what the hell the brand is on this case. I do not know. Or the model. I mean, if one of you guys knows, hey, let me know. I'd love to know. But that's about it for this one. I got another one coming up here. Well, I got a couple weeks off, so I don't know. We'll see what I can get in. I got another build coming up in a case that's never been reviewed yet. That's a new case, not a 20-year-old case like this one. I don't think there's much more to say about this one. I think this one's a little bit loud. I got some 80 millimeter, and these are all actually Noctua fans that I got going in here, so they should be fairly quiet. But on this motherboard, there's only one PWM, and that's for the CPU, and I really didn't want to tap into that one to run the other 3. I could have. It shouldn't have been no big deal. But, it only had the one 3-pin header down there. And like I said, I'm hoping that I can get that pin fixed in that other motherboard, and then I'm going to change this all out, put a better board in there, and then I'll get that PWM control and maybe kind of quiet this one down a little bit. I'm not really happy with that. So I will see you all later, and I will see you all in the next build, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.